That's awesome. Yeah, everyone's talking about um the the hardcore server on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm so excited. Ooh. And then I guess people were talking about the the downtime, the hot fix this week. Do you think people, yeah, do you think people saw in their comments, their feedback, did they see uh, it working better? Oh, okay.
Drop chocolate in dungeons. We see people going through dungeons and um, killing lots of monsters in a way that they don't normally. So even though I can't find lag on the Halloween event directly, the people who go into dungeons to kill large piles of monsters for chocolate does cause it. And so we're trying to figure out uh, what we can do and like next year how we can fix that. Like maybe put
Oh,
chocolate in the end chests or something. But I'm still seeing a lot of messaging that people are hitting lag on the various servers, including Wayfinder, and that concerns me.
oh
So
yeah. Even
the sooner,
Wayfinder.
I know, the sooner we can get people testing the 64-bit servers in a controlled environment with this update, the sooner we can kind of move and see if that's going to make a big enough difference to open up other ones for players to be able to transfer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. This is all going much faster than I thought it was gonna go.
Well, we've been working on 64-bit for a while. You just haven't seen it. So behind the scenes, we've been doing, and the server tests have gone well. No one has been able to like knock over the servers, or and we haven't seen the same kind of lag messages that we've seen on the normal servers. So hopefully it will go well. If it goes as well as the Lotro ones, then I'm hoping that the servers will be much smoother than our current lag. Now but I'll look. Come Monday, the engineers are going to pull the logs again and take a look at the servers from this weekend because after Wednesday when we looked, the performance parameters and alarms were much better. But I don't know if something's happened over the course of the weekend that has degraded. We won't know until Monday.
Ooh, okay. Do you have an like a guess to how many, the equivalent of how many of our 32-bit servers might be able to fit on the one after the hardcore VIP one?
So right now, our current server technically can handle 1,800 concurrently, but it even the smaller ones at the current thing are hitting lag for various reasons. The Lotra one is set to 2,000, and we've hit that, and it's handled it fairly well. Not perfect, but fairly well. So if we can get that same performance on DDO, I would be ecstatic. I don't think that we will. Well, so I suspect we'll be able to get that on the new server because it's fresh start. So there's some of the lag. One of the pillars of lag is like um, serialization, meaning the larger that the character is, the more time it takes to move from server to server, and the more that can influence the server. So this will be meant for another pillar of lag, and that's this language memory thrashing that's happening in the normal servers. But and then with new characters, because it's kind of like it's our version of hardcore, but other people can participate, if that makes sense. One of the problems with hardcore is it split and people didn't like the one and done, so they wouldn't participate. So this server kind of solves that by having lanterns that will be destroyed if you die, and then lanterns that won't be destroyed if you die. So you can, if you don't like that vibe, you can pursue it without it. Does that make sense?
I remember when you first talked about it, you called it opt-in. I love that. I think
Yeah,
that's a great descriptor.
yeah. So, and that I really like the saber tooth mount.
Me
I'm
too.
hoping players like it.
I think they do. That's my favorite thing. That's the thing I'm going for. Oh, I'm excited
The other
about
thing,
that. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. The other thing is that since the server is going to be up, we can run this. We'll keep this on longer. You won't be forced to try to get everything in 3 months. I'm hoping to keep it on longer than that, so people can, uh, the more casual people can pursue different lantern events and have fun with that. So we'll see.
Ah, that's right. I remember you saying that you weren't sure if things were going to completely change or not, but you were thinking it would be long term.
Hopefully,
How
but we'll
long?
see.
Gotcha. How long were you thinking? Like,
Well, the server will stay open indefinitely. How long
mm,
we keep the event running depends. I think we were thinking 6 months, but don't quote me on that because I'll have to look.
right, right. Yeah, definitely. Whenever I talked about any stuff from the talk with when you talked with Nimvind and here and the one before the Fridays at 4 that you were on, and I was
Yeah,
like, remember, this is all Like before I said anything, I kept cautioning everyone, but in front of it, like it could be completely changed at any time. No one is holding Sev to any of this. Don't hold him to that. This is just um, it could happen. So okay, that's exciting. I think the with the the longer term, people might really like that because then they have lots of time to feel like, oh, I can get these rewards, and then the opt-in choice is saves that, and then plus, like you said, it's not just a not just like a it just it goes dead for a lot of servers and people complain like where's all the LFMs, everyone's playing hardcore, and so there won't be complaints about that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like three birds one stone. Oh, how did the number two go, the two test? I wanted to test it yesterday and today, but I wasn't able to.
Pretty good. I think that people were really looking at this repeater. So a lot of people jumped on because they wanted to make sure that the repeaters that they were using and the Inquisition tree was still fun. So I saw a lot of that because when you kind of play with how systems work like that to save lag, number one is it's always dicey because you want the attacks to feel fast. When something used to be fast and it becomes slower, that's kind of a bummer. So
Yeah.
hopefully it still feels like you're firing a lot. Um, and you should still see a lot of numbers. So I think people were looking at that. Um, but there have been other changes that we're looking at for to do perf. But I'm the these servers they're such a pain, so expensive to set up, that like I can't just switch over all the servers. I'm gonna have to basically all of the servers are filled with old names, character names, and guild names that people don't play. So our goal is we'll create new servers eventually and open up transfer. So that way people will be able to go on and grab their names if they want and all of that. But that's in the future. For this one, it's a fresh start, so people will be able to log on and play with different characters. Um, but we can't. The server won't be able to handle the entire. Uh,
Player base.
player base just all going on. We just have queues that were too long, so we need
Oh.
to kind of we need to kind of like ease it in, and that's one of the reasons that we're making Fresh Start and VIP so that we can ease in and the numbers stay reasonable, and then we can look at the performance of the server and see if it is good enough to continue. Because if it doesn't operate like Lotro and we're not seeing a significant increase in lag, then it makes no sense to rearrange and do all of the hardware, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And there's gotta be something. There's gotta be some way to to mitigate. You guys are gonna have to do something to mitigate it from crashing and falling down. So that's totally understandable with the, because it like if you got to do something to make it a soft start and like that, then
But
yeah.
yeah, but we're moving as fast as we can. That's why we want to get this one out. I'm kind of glad that people were excited that it's coming next week, because like we're trying to move on this. I don't want this to just make a promise and then a year later. There's too many times that I've had to pivot on stuff that we talked about, and so I'm glad that this is actually like looking good. It passed our internal tests, but it's exciting and nerve-wracking. We're all stressed because we don't know. Nothing survives. Um, many things don't survive the onslaught of the players when once they hit the servers. So we'll see.
Yeah, this is awesome because like sometimes like things are like take a long time and people are like, oh, this is taking too long, like this is like, oh, this is something that too long of a time frame, or whatever. And so that's cool that you guys are like, yeah, we don't want it to be a long time frame where it's like a year later something could happen, so that you kind of like are telling people like, hey, we're not sure how long it will be, but sooner than like a really really long time is better than, it's better than being like, okay, like it'll be done in like this many months and then it's like double that time. It's
Right.
smart because you guys are, it's people respond better to the it happens sooner than they think. Then it's like, oh, that's better than expectations, exceeds expectations. Yeah, I think that's smart. That's good.
The moving everything over to 64-bit really took a long time, longer than I wanted, because we use some pretty old libraries of
Mm.
various game systems in the game. And so it's not as easy as moving our normal code over. All those libraries that are precompiled have to get moved over and play nice. And so it just took a long time.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. Um, so I have a question. If the new data center has better SLAs, etc., it seems like the old data center has had a lot of networking issues as of late.
The Sure, I agree with you. The new data center should be better along that line. It won't have as many. The hardware is newer. The networking isn't as ancient. Everything is modernized in the new data center. I think our East Coast people will have to live with a little more ping, which I don't like, but uh,
Hmm.
the the California people will see better ping because it's in Las Vegas now. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, that will be good. My heart goes out. The big people is like
Europe,
our
right?
European, right? So Australia will see better because Australia actually goes through California, but the European people, the extra ping will really hurt there. So I have to look and add up the numbers and see if we can afford to try to maybe someday open up a European server, 64-bit server as kind of part
Cool.
of it. I mean, we were able to for Lotro, so I just have to make sure that it makes sense financially. But I think that will be exciting to our European players if we could manage to do that. But um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, But we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, I have to make
Right,
sure that
right.
the server is everything that we're hoping, right?
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that if this hardcore and VIP thing goes well and people respond to it well, do you think that um, that a lot of people will like return to the game or stay with the game, or new people will come to the game? Like, do you think that this could uh, really increase like the amount of people playing this game and like spending money on the game and stuff like that? Do you think that, are you guys expecting it to be like a baby boom, I guess?
I mean, if it's like the Lotro one, yeah,
Oh,
like
what
the
happened with
Lotro
that?
servers. The Lotro servers did very well. Like a lot of people came back and played. They liked the vibe of
Okay.
being chased around by wraiths. It was a nice because everybody was playing at low level. So the fresh start server is not only nice because you have this new event, but when you're trying to go through Korthos Island and there's just like tons of like 50 people in there day one, it just feels like a different game.
Yeah. The
You know what I
the
mean?
yeah. The tests felt
It's re-
really fun because of that hype.
yeah, yeah. If the so if it does well, like the better it does, the better the whole thing will work. Because if you go to a new server and you're trying to work up a new character and figuring out what build you're doing this, and it's just full of LFMs and people trying to do this and trying to do the lantern stuff, and all of a sudden these, the mist creatures are appearing, and you have to watch your back on that, and it changes your gameplay a little bit. Also, I think that it's going to be interesting because there's going to be a social dynamic where if you're playing with a lantern that will be destroyed if you die, so that you'd have to basically start a new character to do that kind of lantern. Do you only group with people to do?
Oh, hold on, your thing died. I think you need to reconnect your mic.
Oh, just a second.
Oh, now I heard you. It was like robotic-y, like yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder if my internet turned off. Am I good now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll
think it's
see.
good. Okay.
Like who you group with, I think will be a thing. You don't want to just group with people who aren't taking it seriously because their own lanterns won't shatter if they die. On the other hand, if
Um.
you know what I mean, but
Mhm.
if your friends don't feel like playing with that, they can help you through the dungeon by kind of going ahead and opening the way for you. So, but uh, you can't just stay at the entrance and get the players will have to figure out how things work. But if you try to have just stay at the entrance to stay safe, that won't work. But people can certainly make your way easier. So I'm hoping that figuring all that out will be super fun.
Yeah, that's a different aspect of this hardcore. That's a different. Yeah, there's a lot of the way that this is set up that it's gonna be different, never before done style of hardcore. Like yeah, it's the strategies are gonna be really fun. The new
Yeah.
strategies and testing that out, and because like right, if you have the people who are not doing the lanterns, they go ahead and they scout for you and they die. It's like, oh, no big deal, I still got my lantern and I'm safe in the back. So that's fun.
Right.
That's cool.
Or do you just do groups? Like if your lantern shatters, do you only do people whose lantern shadows so they don't overpull and they're taking things seriously? So it'll be interesting to
Mm-hmm.
see if that
Mm-hmm.
dynamic works well or if it causes problems. Because
Oh yeah.
it's scary. It's scary because it's a new kind of event for us.
Yeah,
So it's
I bet.
experimental and a little dangerous. So we'll see how it comes up.
Yeah, I think um, a lot of people are going to be excited about it because it's like a new thing and event that and it's focused on getting better lag. So I think like people should respond to it well and be behind it because even if it's VIP only, it's like yeah, but doing those tests is helping. This server and the tests were to help everyone with lag. That's the goal. So I think, when people understand that, they'll really be like, oh wow, cool. So fun new event, fun new stuff, and plus it's going to be helping to reduce lag. Like, sign us up. But as
That's my hope. The
Yeah.
tests have gone well. We'll see if so. And the interesting thing from a technical perspective is it's not only that the server is a 64-bit. It's that 64-bit allows us to use a lot more memory on the server, which allows us to take a lot of the code and cache it, meaning it's preloaded into memory when the server starts up, rather than loaded on demand. And that's where we're getting a lot of the performance increases. But we couldn't do that before because the server memory was limited by 32-bit, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
The other thing that will be interesting is I don't know whether it'll be there for release, but we have new technology that allows us to take certain instances and pin them on their own server away from other players. And I think we're going to try to do that with the guild ships. We've known kind of
Cool.
for a long time that the loading and unloading of guild ships, can cause lag. So if you happen to be on a server with one of these guild ships, you will see the same lag that the guild ship does, particularly if people are on there and there's they're carrying pets around and running around from it can cause issues. So if they're tucked away on their own server, then anything that happens on the guild ship is only going to lag other guild ships, and your raid isn't lagging and causing people to die. So that's another piece of new tech that the players kind of don't know about that I'm excited to see if it will happen. But we're still testing that. I don't know if that will be available for the launch next week. Probably not, but hopefully sometime thereafter we'll be able to put that on too, and that will help.
Oh, cool. I think that's awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I understand how it could be nerve-wracking for staff because it's like a lot of new unknown territory.
It is, but I'm excited for it because we're making forward progress, and I think that the players, even though the players are like, I don't know if I want to move my character over, or hopefully they'll recognize at least that like we're taking lag seriously and we've been actually working on it and going through, despite this last week where we fixed a bug and caused some problem with ray tracing that caused that, but that got fixed on Wednesday. But
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know why people are having issues this weekend. So I'll see that tomorrow.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, a lot of the time I think people, um, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of times people don't understand like that you guys could be doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes work and working on stuff. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. I'm like, the devs and stuff, like they care and they want to make a good game, for us. It's not like they're trying to ignore everyone and not doing anything. You know what I mean? I'm like, they're obviously doing stuff because it's like, and so I think a lot of people just don't realize like how much work you guys do. And so I think it's nice that when people see like, yeah, we're working on it and we see these problems and we're trying to do it, and the lag and stuff, I think that's a reminder of like, yeah, we don't want the game to be having lag and we don't want it. We want to do fixes, but there's so much that goes into doing things like fixing lag and doing, you know what I mean, and trying to make a fix that then could cause a problem with something else. There's a lot that like a one little thing could entail.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, if the players are trying to play the game and they're lagging out right now, we can, you know, basically and I get it. It's like, well, I'm not on this server yet. I'm still lagging this weekend. You say it's going to be better, and but so I think at this point it's just show us what you got. So
Yeah.
Wednesday we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. It's happening really fast. I'm really excited. Way faster than I thought. I thought the second test would be a while for the second test. And already the second test happened, and then next Wednesday it's going live. So that's really exciting. So
Yeah, people have been working hard on it too. So I'm psyched.
that's awesome. Well, tell everyone who's been working on it thank you so much. And I can tell you guys have been working really hard on it. It's been going really fast.
I We'll see the I'm really excited to see the event because if we had just done another hardcore season, that would have been the easiest. Um, but there were I just felt like the hardcore servers just took a certain part of the populace who wanted to do that and gave them kind of like cool stuff to do. But if that was frustrating for you, it just wasn't something that people would do. And hopefully this will open that up.
Yeah, yeah, I think so because I love hardcore, but there's people who love it and don't like it. So,
It's nerve-wracking. I think the first hardcore season, it was my fourth character before I hit 20.
oh wow,
So so I died like three times. But fortunately, I died pretty early, the first two. Like, I just did not expect the hounds to scale the way they did, and I really had to go in with a different strategy for them. But after that, I finally got to level 20, so got my cloak.
you sound like me. My average is for sure like three deaths at least.
Yeah,
Yep. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. I gotta run, but thank you for being in the chat with Sev and
no
for
problem.
opening it up
Have
so
a
we can
great
hang
night.
out. You too. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.